Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today I will be streaming day 3 of the 4th qualifier. It's the final day of the final qualifier. After today we will know who all is in this top 16 and it should be epic because there's some quite exciting groups today and I'll have the luck of following group 2. So I'm gonna show you that in a moment. I'm just quickly accepting the room invite. Bit of house cleaning. You are free to speak your own language, but if it's not in English I will not be able to understand you, so please just be civil and polite in the chat. There is a 3-minute delay on this stream. That is to avoid any stream sniping happening, so people can't see each other's lineups and stuff. And there are no rewards for watching the stream aside from the epic gameplay that you will get to see. So that's the house cleaning out of the way. This is the group we are following, group 2. So we have Whack Me, Jokes, DBU and Istra. And especially Jokes and Istra, that's going to be epic. We've seen DBU in earlier stages as well, and they've been lovely to watch as well. But to be fair, I'm quite hyped about Jokes and Istra. And I kind of, well, all of them are good to arrive here, but of these 4, I would place my bet on those 2, or one of those 2, because only one of them can actually go through to the top 16, which means that whoever does not get first place is out of the tour, out of the winter season as a whole. So yeah, for the rest we've got group 1 existing of Ins, Ego, Pog and Pavanzel, and group 3 is EXQI, which is the original OGT, Hapkey and Synergy, and we have got S63, Bat, Solve and Waifu. So honestly, I'm really chuffed to be able to stream this group because I do think it's probably, all of them are gonna be epic, but Istra and Jokes are both professional clans from before at least, and last season I don't think we saw Istra in the top 8, but that's because yeah, some rules were broken and that did not go well. But we did see them in action in the qualifiers and they've been absolutely epic. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight. So yeah, I'm getting pop-ups now. There we go, we are below 3 minutes so I can actually enter the room. DBU is already completely ready for Hellas, taking 3 E5s, an LT, a 215B in ice for an Ekranwagen, whereas Jokes is still deciding on which tanks to take with them. But they've got 2 minutes left for that to happen, well, for them to do that, so that's still plenty of time. Hallis, not one of my favourite maps to be honest. It's one of the smaller maps in the game, at least it feels a lot smaller. Lots of open lines, lines of fire and everything. It is a tricky map, and for tours it's not the best one, in my opinion. So far we see 3 Concept 1Bs and 113, and everything is riding on tonight, mind you. Basically, if you do not get first place today, then you're out of the winter tour as a whole. So that is also yeah, let's just say the pressure is on for these guys. Now we see an LT and a 113 there as well. Venu and Balwan not yet readied up. Venu just changed his tank. They still have like a minute left to go, so there's no pressure just yet. There we go, spectators moving in. And Jokes decide onto IS7s. Do they already have 2? Yeah, they do. You can only have 2 spectators. The only reason that I'm there is because I'm, like, spectating as a whole. Both teams are using their spectator slots. I always found it interesting, though, because I believe that once the round robin started and everything, you will not be able to use spectators anymore for your team. So if you're too used to playing with spectators, that can be a downside, because then you will miss that eagle eye. Unless, of course, Wargaming changes that this season. But here we go, countdown clock has begun. We are getting ready to go to the first game of this best of 5. meaning the first team to reach 3 victories is actually going to go through to the upper bracket. It is a double elimination though, so that means that whoever loses once isn't out just yet. But if you lose twice, as in 2 matchups, not 2 games, but 2 matchups, then you're out of the tour. So let's see. Some very pretty camos here. Sneer needing to wait a little bit before he can move. And we have Jokes focusing on both sides. We have LT versus LT arriving at base C. Both spotting one another, both shooting one another. But Arceol takes a bit more damage because Arca has friends. But to be fair, so does Arceol. A is being kept. Marcinek and Asuka coming up the ramp versus Teraxeto and Reaction, who have both been spotted now, as is Asuka. B is not getting capped just yet. Arca leaving base C. And I think they're sort of hoping to set a trap. They know Asuka is there. But we have Realista. We're in there, we have Arceol. Not going in, but holding there. Base B is still not being kept. And they kind of have to know. So we have Ball 1 now making a move. Basically, the trap will not be able to get used. But they kind of have to in order to not let DBU get too much of a point advantage there. Arca spotting some of the campers there. But he's not taking any shots, to be careful. Marcinek is still hidden. The thing is though that DBU has a comfortable point advantage here. They don't need to make a move. They've stacked their tanks, same as Jokes here. Just in different positions. The thing is that Jokes is actually outgunned on this side. Green still spotted. And I'm just flying around now because not actually anything is happening. Snee is now also spotted. They kind of have to know where Arca is at. But they're not taking any shots into that position. And we have Jokes basically ready but not really doing anything yet. And at some point they're going to have to make a move. We have Venu now moving in, as is Sneer. Asuka is still spotted. But this could be tricky. If he manages to get that base though, they kind of need to know where he's at. And he has been spotted, so they have to be careful. He has to angle right. He has to not get shot. And does he manage it? He does actually manage to get it. And that's an advantage that Jokes really needed with the advantage that DBU had points-wise. So now the points are going to even out a little bit, but we've had like over half the battle and pretty much not much has happened aside from capping bases days. We have Green now moving in. Vendu taking a hit, but being careful not to go back too far, to not get hit by the camper. That is no longer there, even though the LT is there now. So now, Realista is capping the base. And DBU is moving in. Venu losing more HP and more. Base C is being contested. Venu has to be careful. They need to keep their team alive. But now we have Venu getting tracked. And this may have been basically not really working out for Jokes here. Base C is almost kept. And they will have to... Oof, Asuka losing a lot of HP very quickly here. Trying to get a better angle for you. CVCU is almost gone. Does get taken out. Base A is being kept. Both teams have 950 points. But Asuka is almost gone. And that's going to be vital here. They do take out Realista. And with Archeo actually also dying before Asuka. Jokes has the game. But by a hair. That was way too close. But well played. I actually didn't think that they would have the game. With the way that started to go. And with Venu basically being caught out like that. I think in this case it's purely because DBU wasn't aggressive enough. Going in like that. Well played. But again, like I said, no real pressure just yet. It is the best of 5. No team is up for match point just yet. And we are getting ready for the second game on Hallis. With DBU now taking 3 E5s, an LT, a T15B, a Kranwagen, and a 60 TP. And on the other side we see 2 IS7s, 3 IS7s, a 113, 2 Concept 1Bs, and an LT. I'm never a big fan, to be fair, of collectibles or premium tanks to being meta. I'm not surprised, because basically I don't blame any team for using a tank that works best. I do not like wargaming making the tanks best for tours, so to speak. I think that's the best way to describe it. And yes, I do understand also not excluding any tank from tours and everything, because after all, it is a company, it will want to earn money. But I don't like things being behind a paywall. And in this case, I don't think the Concept 1B is OP at all. But basically, when a premium or collectible tank is meta, in my opinion, that's not really the best thing. Really curious also to see how many Steves will be used in the round robins. Because I do think that we're not going to see like the top tactics and everything these days. Maybe in the grand finals for tonight, because everything is depending on that. Because if you don't bring your A game, then you might not be able to get another chance. I also like how the clan tag is derped on the tour screen, but that is DBU. Archeo going for a cap. Arca potentially doing the same thing on the other side. Base B being kept. And maybe Arca is going to go for a cap as well. He is not sure he's going to get away with it. He is prepared to pull back. But he might just get it. Nope. He's not going to go for it. He's using a nice Christmas camouflage. In CVCU, we see some shots happening. He manages to remain unscathed there. Base B has been kept, base A has not been kept. Venu and Mixu are holding. Terceta and CVCU are there. Sin is there as well. Ready to move in if needed. But again, Jokes is starting on a disadvantage here. Base C now being kept. And you kind of have to do something. At the same time, you don't want to send in your juicy tanks. But now they have a definite advantage. With 2 bases. Base A is being kept. Marcinek has been spotted. But at this stage, DBU is holding all the cards again. We're in a bit of a holding game again. And they know that there's people there. They just don't know exactly where. Arca tentatively looking to see who's there. Martinek spotted again. I'm just going to fly over to the base A side. Because they will want to take base B, but at the same time you do not want to risk your light tank taking that. And we're already at 700 points for DBU. Sin has lost quite a bit of HP there. Asoka also losing some as he crosses over. But they really need that base. Nice shot by Marcinek there. Asuka losing more HP. Jokes more or less forced to move in. Venu losing a lot of HP just trying to get there. And I would be very surprised if they manage that. There goes Venu. Asuka's not long for this world either. Sin is moving in. Reaction. The primary target there. With Mitsu actually blocking him to make sure to take him out. Base A is being capped now. CVCU and Sin are both gone. Both teams have lost 2 guns. But points wise it is very much in the favor of DBU. And for all intents and purposes, unless magic happens, they will have it. And there we go. DBU has the game. And I think it's more like, I'm not sure. It seems a bit hesitant from Jokes. Just not making decisive action here. And a bit too spread out to make it an effective push. Losing a lot of HP. Getting there. Well played by DBU, mind you. They were nicely dug in. And again though, not much is happening just yet. Anything can still happen. No match point for either team. It is 1-1. And we are moving on to Canal, which to be fair is one of my favorite maps. In twos it can be a bit stalemate, but it hasn't been the last couple of times. But as a map I just really like it with the 4 bases and the, like, you have the hills and ditches and dips and everything. It just makes it a very interesting map. And at the same time you also have like positions where you get massive crossfire like halfway across the map. 55 seconds left to go before we go into the 3rd game of this best of 5. The concept on Bs are being left behind by Jokes now. We see 2 IS4s, 2 113s, an IS7 and another IS4 and a 1. I can't even word anymore. Sorry guys. 2 113s, 3 IS4s, 1 IS7 and an LT. Versus 2 LTs, an IS7, 2 of them even, a Steve, a 113 and IS4. And yes, it is Streetwagen K, but I call it a Steve because it's a lot easier than saying Streetwagen K all the time. And here we go, countdown clock has begun, and we are getting ready to move in. Here we go. And we will at least get 2 more games. Because as I said, no match points yet. The thing is though, there's so much riding on this. Like as tonight, this is the final qualifier. All these teams are here because they really want to reach the top 16. And this is the final chance they have of reaching that. And let's see. The LTs are actually not going to go to base D. Neither is Arca. Sneer is going straight into the ditch. Shots are being fired. C and B are both being taken. Sin and Venu losing some HP there. Reaction getting a good shot in there from halfway across the map. That Axedo is making it hard to cap the base. does eat a shot for that. Base A is being taken. B has been taken. The LTs are being sent over to the other side to even up the scores. But they've lost quite a bit of HP just crossing over to places. And now Asuka has to be careful. Has been spotted. That is so lucky. And he does eat 2 now. And another one. And gets tracked. And another one. Well played by DBU here. But Jokes has the point advantage here. As long as they hold, they've got the advantage. But look at the amount of tanks stacked here. We have 1 over here. And 3 on the ramp here. Marcinek is all the way in the corner. And that can be a strength and a weakness because he's alone there. Misu picking up and over to make sure to just determine positioning. Both teams have 2 bases right now. But there's about a 600-ish HP advantage for DBU. Arcule is going around, going back up the top onto the hill there. You may need a spot there to see who is there. And he does spot Arca. And Arca needs to drop down. But I think they kind of know where he will have been spotted from. We are at 660 points for Jokes here. And it will be up to DBU to make a move here. But this is going to be very tricky for them. Because if they move in, then they're going to lose HP. And it's all going to be about focus fire and kills then. At the same time though, we have CVZU over there. And Marcinek. See, this is what I feared for them. They know that someone is there. And he is potentially, maybe, the weakest link. He has been spotted. And now we have the LTs moving in. And Jokes is in trouble now. Because Marcinek is being set upon. Brutally. And he's going to be gone at the next reload. Especially after the bounce. There he goes. Misu is being set upon as well. Jokes is reacting in the middle. Knowing they have to take out tanks. But they have to leave the corner for that to happen. Misu is almost gone. And he is going to go down. There he goes. And there he goes. Bases are being kept. C is being kept. But so is B. And there's a distinct advantage for DBU here. Arca being set upon by Reaction and Realista here. Jokes is trying to get into base B, I mean. But he's literally being blocked. And that's exactly what needed to happen. Arca has been taken out. And with 1k points. Now also Venu. DBU has the game. Marcinek was the weakest link here. And it's not like Marcinek is bad player. Not at all. Don't mean that in any way, shape or form. But he was alone. And they knew that someone was there. And they knew that they'd be alone there. And they'd have no backup there. And that in this case made all the difference. Very well played by DBU here. I always loved the games where basically it's kind of like thinking and outthinking the other game, the other team. And then guessing where someone is. And in this case, that little bit of gamble, knowing someone was there and going for them, made all the difference. Because it basically... Jokes needed too much time to get the team together in the middle to respond. And they lost more tanks because of that. So now for the second game on Canal, we have DBU up for match point. And they're taking 2 LTs, 2 IS7s, 2 60TPs and a Steve. Versus 3 IS7s, 2 113s, a Steve and an LT. That double LT though has been very effective. And I know that Jokes has it in them. They can do this. But Soho DB is not allowing them much room for error. So let's see if they can... If DBU... If they win this match, then they are through to the upper bracket. And then Jokes will be through to the lower bracket. They're not out yet. They can still find their way back if that happens. Unless, of course, they win the next 2 games in a row. Then they are through to the upper bracket. And let's have a look. Arca heading towards the base D side. Again, both LTs from DBU not going there at all. B and C both being kept. Sneer going all the way in the ditch. Arca's not spotting anyone, but doesn't quite dare go into base D. A is going to get kept, and that will give DBU a slight advantage here. So they're going to go down into the ditch. They've got a tank stacked on multiple sides. And now it will be up again to Jokes to make a move. And somehow get the point advantage back. Line of fire into the bush even though no one was there just yet. Arca going for another bush here. And he does spot Realista, who is shooting that bush again. And he's not letting himself get spotted. The thing is though, like I said, it's up to Jokes to make a move here. No HP has been lost on both sides. We see some blind shots happening into certain positions where they know that there's going to be people, or where there's likely going to be people. But so far no damage has been done in any way, shape or form. Reaction taking another bush, but also positioning the tank to be able to get out really fast. Misha going all the way to the corner. That might be tricky. That was brilliant. Okay, for those not paying attention, this tree was just shot down by Sneer. He didn't drive it down, he actually shot it down. And you saw immediately a streak coming up from across the map into that tree. Because they know that there's someone that's going to be there then. They just don't know exactly where. But by shooting the tree down with HE, I'm assuming it was HE, he actually didn't betray his own position. Didn't take any damage for it. Realista so far, the only one that has been spotted. We're nearing the 700 point border again. And it is still up to Jokes to make a move. To find someone to take out. Or to stand in base B long enough to get their points. But they're so far, they're content to just hold and sit at the base D side. They do not have that long a time to get those points though. So I'm not sure what their tactic is going to be here. But they will have to make a move. It's up to them to get the advantage, not the other way around. And DBU has stacked their tanks quite nicely. We're nearing 800 points. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here. Because the points are going up quite quickly. Shots are happening into the corner where these two are driving to. But no one is there. I think they'd hope to catch someone unawares there, but there aren't. And we're nearing 900 points now. And I think it's going to be a play for base B, because they only need to stand in it for just a little bit. But they need to not die while doing that. Venue going up. Getting a little bit of a boost. Reaction losing HP. And now they have been spotted. They need to drive into it though. They have no choice. They also need to not get ammo wrecked. They need to not die. And they're still behind on points. They still need to drive into their base ever so slightly. Just to stay enough to get the points. And actually it's still too late. It's still too late. Joke's too hesitant here. Not quick enough with the action. This is not the jokes that we've seen in winter season. This is not the jokes that I know is in this team. But very well played by DBU. Basically playing on points, and that's when it comes to supremacy, points matter. And in this case, I think they'd hoped to catch someone unawares in that corner, same as Martinek had been called out the game before. But of course, when that's the weakness that has been discovered by the other team, they're not likely to make that mistake. So let's see, when is the next match for us? So it's DBU versus Istra for the upper bracket, which is happening in about 20 minutes. And actually, so we have Pog there. And Pawansel is also through. So Pog versus Pawansel for the upper bracket there. Istra versus Jokes. Versus DBU. Then we have Synergy versus... versus OGT originally. And S63 versus, do we know yet? Yes, we do. Versus Bat. So, of course, I've got some replays to fill the time for you. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, I have a replay in a tank that I really, really want that I do not have. But we're starting it off in the concept 1B. I always like going to the desert as well. Generally, the positioning there is better. You're less likely to get tracked. You're less likely to be caught out. It doesn't really help when the team is just basically going everywhere but together. And that their tanks driving him out without camo. Of course, Crown Wagon, best camper wagon. It looked like Yusuf agreed. Now, basically, Yusuf will be on voice with us. And he will be driving. So if I want an answer from him, it's easiest to ask yes or no questions, because then he can actually answer. So let's see. It is encounter, which is not really my cup of tea. Nice shot there. A little bit too hasty there. There you go. When you want to take shots like that, you always want to stay exactly still as you shoot. There we go. Oof, nope. He was turning. See, the thing is, I've seen this game and I don't remember how it went at all. But he's in a nice position here. Has steadily been farming. Boot one has been taken out. But that is a good gun to get out of the way. Both teams have lost 2 guns here. that sort of movement is the WTF, mate, kind of movement. And now it'll be spotted for 20 seconds, which is always a bit of a pain. That is sand. And he does take it, so we know where the last one is. There you go, he's almost gone. It's 3v3 right now. Gun derp HE. HE derp. Three v2. And he's just standing there, not really moving. Has just fired. And there he goes. But now we know the T-57 Heavy has just made it 2v1. Let's see. It was definitely an alt battle, to be honest. Like, it's happened quite a few times, not just with jokes, but I mean like with teams as a whole, where people have just misjudged the amount of points that the other team has. And that just surprises me. In this case, I would just go in, to be honest. He has the HP, and now definitely he should be able to take it. And there we go. 5.5k damage. Lovely little ace here. It's always nice when it says 0 and then it starts loading up the damage actually done. Let's see, what else have I got for you? Oh, I know. I don't think I've shown this one yet. This is one of the biggest WTF battles I've had in a long, long time. I was playing this with Tyler, and back in December, one of my dear friends and clanmates, Howard the Duck, Stephen, but Howard the Duck, he actually passed away, and his son got the account and renamed it. So that is his son, basically, and we're just having a little bit of fun. And we were talking about him driving the Leo, and I was talking to him about the fact that anyone can HE a Leo, and he was like, oh dear. And you will find exactly how that went, because this is basically how it went for him immediately in the beginning of the battle. That did not really go well. So I'm fine with waiting. He's a bit in front of me, so I take a hit there that I didn't really need to. We're getting a bit in each other's way here. So I decide to go and look on the other side. Because I want to get the shots in. But I don't want to really overextend either. Luckily though, I can bounce on the T22 mediums. That was GG as well. And look at just like everyone being clustered together. I turn around, so they turn around, so everyone turns around. And that's not really the best way to go about it. Nice little track shot there. And I'm just going to reload my clip in peace, turn around again, and get to the other side. I just want to make sure to have that last shot reloaded. You see a lovely reminder of why the chat has actually been deactivated on the EU server. Some nice bounces there. We got the type coming, which also I'm not too big a fan of. He takes out my lovely teammate. And they're all getting in each other's way. So far it's not been the most special battle. But I do know that he's pretty much my main concern here. And I want to make sure to take him out. Or at least that he's dead. Which that shot doesn't help. But luckily I have a teammate there. This is how grey that looks though. So now I'm just going to drive around. Object 260 is probably not going to survive for much longer. So I want to reload some shots and I hope that I get some free damage here. Which I do not because I bounce on the sides, because why not? That's my own fault to be fair. I aimed too much for the tracks and it absorbed my promo. So I just want to make sure that I reload before I engage. My T isn't actually AFK. He's just not doing anything. And I was kind of hoping that he would push forwards. But he's not. And I don't know where their TD is. I do know that they have a base. That's not good. And at this stage, my 183 is finally moving. But there is theirs. And that's a big giant gun. I'm not a fan of that. And I'm more concerned about the type, to be honest. But I can eat a shot from him. And I track him, which is nice. But the FE misses me, which is nicer. I do eat a shot there. I need to make sure that I do not actually get set on fire. And I decide to just casually try and track him. And now it's just a type. And I was like, yeah, I can cap a base, but maybe not, because I'm having a pretty good damage game, and I didn't really want the FE to get the damage done in. Still got the base for that little bit of point advantage, especially considering the amount of points that they have right now. So I thought for sure that that was going to be it. But then it wasn't. And then I just need to chase him, and that actually shot that was derpy derp, so that was like brilliant. So yes, we shoot Premo in the bum of a Type 71 to make sure that it actually goes in. And that was just a very weird game. I was just running around a lot. And getting to farm and shooting Premo at tracks, which wasn't like the proest move. But hey, it worked. And actually I'm grateful for the Death Star taking out the Death Star. Because that made it a little less of a hassle. Because you never know. So let's see, we've got about 5 minutes left before the room invite is up, so I'm not going to show you another replay. We can have a look at this. I am not a fan of this sort of stuff. Like, it is gambling for one, but it's more than that. It's sort of like ultimate gambling. Because, like, I believe the drop rate is super, super low. Not sure if I can see that anywhere, actually. Yeah. The drop rate for the tank is actually, I believe, lower than it is for the phase 1. That is saying something. And actually, I did get the avatar on my my main account, which I'm kind of happy with because I got it fairly cheap. But I'm not a fan of this whole sort of way of gambling. Also not going to make any draws now because I'm not allowed to gamble on stream on the press account. Not that I have any different matchmaking there, but it's more like gambling is based on luck. So if I were to get really lucky, then basically people would say that the prize account will be rigged. Plus, I've got like, well, now it doesn't show as unlimited, but I've got a pretty much unlimited amount of gold if I wanted to. And that basically just gives an unfair advantage when it comes to gambling. So yeah, now we just wait for the room invite. We can actually go into the store a little bit. Have a look what's there. We have some kits. Lucky tanks. I always find this kind of funny because you can get like the next one if you already have the tank. The thing is though, I mean this is my press account, but my main account has more tanks than my press account. So I've got everything that's in here. So I got the Istra Rex, like the tank itself is nothing really special, but still. Actually the Bofors, the Tornwagen is kind of like a concept on B, but then a tier 8. I kind of like it. I absolutely love the camo though. Like all the dino camos are just freaking awesome. Pardon my French. Fury, one of my favorite tanks in the game. Absolutely love it. It's tier 6, but it's like when you want to seal club a little bit, you don't want too serious gameplay. Fury is your go-to tank. At least it's my go-to tank. Then we got these two, which like the pilot sucks, and the T23E3 isn't too bad to be fair. But it is in the tier where it meets smashes and annihilators frequently, and yeah, it's not that great. Now with the Canonian Jagdpanzer, not too big a fan of that either. Let's see, which are these? T1E6 used to be great fun, but then they basically nerfed all the guns, and it basically meant that the tank lost a lot of its gun potential, which actually was what made it fun. So now it's just And of course we've got the Lorraine and AMX M449. They're both fine. They're not really special, but they're both fine, you know? Let's see, times 5 things. More bundles. T54 first prototype is actually quite a nice tank. If you like the T54 and the kind of tanks like that, you'll probably like this one too. Excelsior is kind of dull. Locust used to be fun as well, but basically update 5.5 has absolutely ruined the low tiers. It's not nearly as much fun as it used to be. I'm still missing a lot of camouflages actually. Might need to work on that. On my press account that is. Like I said, on my main account is decked out more than my press account. Which is saying a lot as well, to be fair. We got gold bundles. E25 is a lovely little tank. It's called the Flea for a reason. Because it's just basically you run around and you shoot, and it's epic short reload. It dishes out damage like no tomorrow, but at the same time, it is very, very juicy. So someone shoots you and you die. And esports containers, of course, and Primo and crates, and I haven't opened them because it's my press account and I don't really need to. There we go. Room invite. And now we just wait until the timer drops below 3 minutes before we go into the room. And then we can see what's going to happen in this matchup. After this, the matches will follow each other quickly. So then we'll see who is going to go through to the top 16. Like, for now, this is like just the upper bracket. So whoever wins this is through to the grand finals. Whoever loses this is through to the lower bracket, but isn't out just yet. Whereas, I'm not sure if we can actually see anything yet, because I think they're still playing. They should be. But Instant Ego are duking it out. And whoever loses between Pok and Pavanzel will have to face them. And it's the same for the Whack Me versus Jokes. And then whoever wins that will have to go against whoever loses between DBU and Istra. Gonna be interesting to see who reaches it. Wait, why is this? Oh, they already won that. Wow. Okay, so that means that Solve is like completely out of the tour. And the rest is still going. Let's see. We can go into the room now. Both teams are almost completely ready here. Istra taking 2 IS-4s, a 60 TP, an IS-7, a 215B and 2 E5s to Dynasty Spur. And on DBU's side we see a Kranwagen, an E5, 2 60 TPs, a Steve, a VK72 and a 113. How is that though? I mean, what ping do you usually play with, Dwarf? Like for me, using derp guns and landing derp shots is easier because my ping is really low. But I think for most of the Apex server, which is where you're playing, for those that don't know where Dwarf is playing, you basically have a lot of derp shots that will go amiss because of the ping that you have. That being said though, I remember that in my the clan I was in before my current clan, which is like 6 years ago now, there was a player that actually consistently played with 700 ping. The thing is though, his ping was stable. Yes, it was 700, but the ping was stable, and that's how he could still play with it. So yeah, there's always that option, I suppose. But that's one reason why I prefer non-derp, to be honest. Because derp is, using HE is, it's fickle. The shell velocity is generally lower, so it's harder to actually land the shots. But also, like, where it lands depends on, helps depend how much damage you do and everything. So yeah, I generally, I dislike derp. It's not my kind of thing. And I will drive derp guns every now and again, but it's not really my kind of thing. Except maybe the G-Soul. I do love that one. "35 seconds left to go." 30 now, actually. And then we go into the first game. Again, it is a best of 5, meaning the team that reaches 3 victories first is through to the grand final and 1 step closer to qualifying. But anything can still happen, of course. Because even the team that loses this can fight their way back to the grand finals and still take it home. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Let's see. It's actually quite funny because my FPS while I'm streaming and my ping is so much higher than when I play on my iPad. My FPS is like 35, but I blame that on my laptop, to be honest. I love my little laptop, but it's not like an OP kind of thing. I really wish to win the lottery someday and then just get like a proper desktop setup, because that would be epic for streaming. So we have DBU going city side, only sending green to hold there, but he's actually heading towards the B side. Akasun, first shots have been shot. C and A are both being taken. And they're not actually trying to decap base C. They have a slight point advantage here. Ever so slightly. DBU again playing it quite cleverly. CVCU wants help. Rotating back towards the spawn. I think hoping to catch someone out. But they're not pushing that side yet. Green is pulling back. Morty is heading into the other spawn. Sneer and Flexible. Sneer taking a hit there. And we have Taroxedo, who might be in a bit of trouble depending on where Morty is going to go. Green is there as well. Green has been spotted. Green is being very forwards here. Does not land that shot, but takes quite a few hits for it. And more. Green is being farmed now. Slowly but surely. And we have CVCU and Realista arriving at the back, but Morty is actually driving forwards to make sure that he can't get farmed. Taroxedo is moving in between to take hits for Green. And he actually, Morty gets taken out. Base B is being taken. He does get decapped. Akasun being focused here. Big hits into him. And they need to take him out. There you go. Sneer is almost gone. It's not going to be long for this world. Taroxedo has been taken out. Green is still alive, if barely. Realista has been left to his own devices. Base A is being kept. Reaction getting very lucky there. Flexible. Realista and Nip both get taken out. But now with base A, it has only 2 guns left. This was DBU's game to lose. And that is exactly what is happening right now. CVCU is not going to survive this. Magnitude arriving to decap. No, he's actually going for the kill, at least, to shoot CVCU. Quickie is going to go and shooting him. Base A has been capped, but is being capped again. And this is quite surely, it is Istra's game. But DBU was close, and I think in this case, Green going in like that is actually what cost him the game in the end. Reaction wanting to go after Flexible, but he does not get it before he gets taken out. Very well played by Istra here, but like I said, this is more... You always have games that are either won by a party or lost by a party, and I feel that this was lost more by DBU than won by Istra. Mainly because of that move where the VK just went, yeah, I can do that, and then just got tracked and lost so much HP so quickly. And they nearly had it even then, but it didn't work out. 1 minute 16 seconds left to go before we go into the second game of this best of 5. DBU now getting ready with a 113, 360 TPs, 2 IS4s, and potentially a Steve, depending on what CVCU is going to take. And on the other side, we see Istra getting ready with an AMX54, 2 60Ps, 2 IS7s, a 215P, and yeah, there you go, an IS, no, or maybe not, maybe an IS4. Let's see, he still has about 35 seconds to ready up. It's an IS7 in the end. And yeah, what Dwarf just said. His ping is normally around 200-ish, but the real problem is that it's rarely stable, and that's like the packet loss and everything. That will ruin your game. Steady ping you can learn to play with. Packet loss and unstable ping do not help. So let's see. Here we go. Always nice to see those little animated things happening. Not just the Tesla gun, but also like the rocket launcher and everything. It looks cool, not gonna lie. And now we see DBU mainly heading towards the base seaside. But Istra is heading there as well. And that might make things very interesting here. When they meet each other, first cross shots that will happen and everything. And with 260Ps heading towards the base A side. First shots have happened. Quickie is going into base B. He's losing quite a bit of HP for that. But it's not completely unprotected. They can't really just decap him. And now we have Morty and Nip pushing against Arceol. And losing a lot of HP for that. At least in Arceol, that is. Steers also lost a lot of HP with that crossfire happening. Reaction now taking hits as well. It's kind of like DBU is sensing weakness and taking full advantage of that. And DBU just not having a reply. Sneer gets taken out. Tergastado is left alone versus 3. That's not gonna go well either. Arceol is taken out. There goes Morty. But Reaction needs to make sure that every shot pens now. Xerazeto is almost gone. But it is already 3 versus 6. And that's not going to be enough. Green is losing a lot of HP very quickly at the back there. And they do get Nib. But then Reaction gets taken out. And Green is almost gone. Is not going to survive Akasun's reload here. And now it's just CVCU who is being absolutely murdered here. And there he goes. And the game is for Istra. See, that's the thing though. In this case, I don't know what it is, but I've noticed that basically the teams that lose are the ones that are hesitating. And in this case, Istra was quite aggressive in their gameplay, in pushing. And it's just... DBU didn't take advantage of that, didn't really react to it. They were like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, I'm being pushed. And then they were already losing tanks. And not gonna lie, it's definitely well played by Istra here. But compared to the DBU that we saw versus Jokes before, it's just so different. And that's something that I've just been noticing this whole qualifier season. Well, it's not like qualifier season, but like in all the qualifiers. It's just a bit strange that way. Because they are so strong and confident versus some team. And then after that they meet another team and it's like there's no confidence whatsoever. And I don't get it. Because we've seen them do epic things. We know they can be absolutely epic. So now we've got DBU that is ready with 2 E5s, 2 60Ps, 2 IS7 and a Kranwagen. Versus 3 E5s, a 60P, a mouse, a showdown and an IS7 for Port Bay. Or maybe one less E5. No, it's an IS7 now. So that's also going to be interesting. They have 10 seconds to get another player in. Or they're going to have 6 players. There you go. That was a bit too close though, guys. Honestly. And let's see. Port Bay, potential match point for Istra now. Unless DBU manages to find their footing here. Let's see. Both teams are heading towards the Bay seaside. Wonder if the Sheridan is going to cross over or is going to go up top. No, he's going to go up top. And he manages to do it just like that. And it gives him a nice spawning position. He should be able to shoot Realista there as he crosses up. Oh, big hits into Realista. He does take one in turn. What we got? 2 IS-7s versus 2 IS-7s in the corner. Terexato going for the cap. Terexato losing some HP for that. And don't forget that we've got half of Istra going for a very cheeky let's just get behind them move. CVCU getting hit in the rear. DBU is realizing that they need to push forwards. Realista losing more HP there. And now they're sort of like they're focusing the IS-7s on the other side, but Ilbury is gone, but so is Realista. And now we have the mouse that is actively blocking their movement. Reaction is almost gone. Mouse is actually set on fire. Does get taken out there. Sneer taking him out. There goes Quickie. Istra has lost 3 tanks. Reaction will probably go down. Would be very surprised if he did not. But now we have CVCU actually keeping him alive here. Making it out. And he actually does not get to pen that shot. Magnitude is arriving. But shoots Sneer instead. Morty and Reaction finally goes down. But it is 5 versus 2 now. And DBU gets to take a game back. This actually them responding. Flexible wanting to hightail it out of there. But DBU responding to the push at their back. Archeol doing 5 damage there, but hey, it's fine. Flexible losing more HP. Being chased here. And now we have Magnitude. Gets taken out by Terexato on the other side. And we have a ring around the roses. For Flexible. Who gets taken out there. And the game is for DBU. The thing is though, as soon as they spotted the tanks coming up behind them, they push forward. That's the only thing that you can do. The only way that you can survive a push like that. And it's kind of like, in this case, Istra was like, oh, they're moving. What should we do now? Rather than just push straight on in behind them. That little bit of hesitancy. Again, it's hesitancy. It's always hesitancy this season. But it was a beautiful flanking move. But in this case, DBU did the only thing that they could do. The only way that they could survive this. I'm just surprised that they got away with focusing those IS-7s on the other side for that long. And Reaction surviving as long as he did. But that's got to feel good, to take that game, at least. Because again, Istra is up for match point. Whatever, if they win any more game, then they are through to the upper bracket grand finals. Well, it's not upper bracket, it's grand finals. So for the second match on Port Bay, the 4th match of this best of 5, Istra is getting ready with 2 IS-7s, 2 60Ps, 2 E5s in the Sheridan, versus 2 60Ps, 2 IS-7s, a Kranwagen, and potentially 2 E5s. No, it's an IS-4 and an E5. But these are the kind of games we do it for, to be honest. That was very clever gameplay from both teams. Beautiful. 22 seconds left to go. And then we get to see what happens. Can Istra push back again? Ooh. Ah. I almost thought they were going to take a poop barn into the game. That would have been epic, not gonna lie. Risky, but epic. And here we go. And let's see. DBU heading towards the base seaside. Istra doing the same thing again. Super speed boost activated. And we have flexible going for a cheeky. No, he's actually going around. He's not actually going. And he will still get that first shot in. He will still have a shot of free damage there. Quickie also taking damage. Getting tracked as... Oh, big hits there! Quickie losing more HP. We're going for a brawl here. Again. And they are being very pushy here. This is a big brawl straight away. Terexado getting tracked and losing a lot of HP for that. But Quickie is the first one gone. Terexado has to be careful now. Morty taking more hits. Flexible is still up there. Can still get damage into Terexado. Morty steadily losing HP. We have reaction pushing up. He does take a big hit for that. And he's still up there. He is being focused now. Ilbury losing HP as well. Green not looking too healthy. Neither is reaction. They need... Oh, he does get taken out. Morty is gone. C is being taken. Magnitude being hit. And we have flexible arriving at the back. And we have Terexado ready for that. As is near, he just got absolutely wrecked. Wow, wow, wow. DBU biting back. This is the DBU we saw in the first matchup. Beautiful. 7 versus 4. CVCU. Cheeky shot there. And they don't need to be aggressive. They don't need to do anything. They can just steadily leave it, farm a little bit in safety. Magnitude is almost gone. And what a game again. Neep gets taken out. Magnitude misses his shot. Reaction going in for the kill there. And it's just Akasun and Ilberry. Ilberry is gone. This game is definitely for DBU and we get to have a tiebreaker here. Fantastic. What a game. Again, what a game. And even though they lost this game, that Sheridan though, flexible, still being alive for that long on that hill, staying on top there, making it very difficult for DBU. Well played. Are they giving each other's reactions? Yeah, they are. Ah, that was beautiful. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the tiebreaker on Winter Malinovka. And let's see. We have Istra now taking 360 piece, a Sheridan, an IS-7. And let's see. They are changing around a little bit. DBU has not yet decided what to take at all. They do need to get ready at some point. But they've got 50 seconds left. There we go. 2 IS7s, 2 60TPs, a 215B, an E5 and a showdown for Istra. Unless Supreme changes it again. It's an E5. No, maybe not. 28 seconds left. There you go. Sheridan has become an LT. And with 20 seconds left, we see DBU now getting ready in an LT, a Steve, a 113. 12 seconds left. Green, come on. There you go. 3 60Ps, an IS7, a 113, an LT, and a Steve. And let's see. See, I say that a lot. I know that, but it's sort of like a fill in the blank space kind of thing. And let's see who's going to take this home. To be fair, like, this is only the grand final. This is only the finals of the upper bracket. This isn't even the lower bracket yet. We still have 2 matchups left to go. Archeol. Flexible. Getting spotted there. Oh, does not get hit. Oh, no, he does get hit with it. Never mind. Archeol going for a quick cap in response. Because it kind of means that base A is unprotected when they're spawning there. Istra taking base B and taking base C. That's going to be tricky though. They can't really allow them to take base B. And at the same time, they have no choice here. They do have to let them get that. Derek Shadow not getting that shot in. But Istra now has a comfortable point advantage, comfortable base advantage. Point advantage will only get bigger. Morty now getting shot from the ramp. And they have to be careful there because they are quite juicy. Archeol hitting him as well, leaving him spotted for longer. And we have Istra pushing back here. Akasun not spotted until too late. And we have the people on the ramp getting shot at, but they're no longer there. Realista is in trouble though. He is being pushed and he's being pushed hard. The crossfire needs to happen. They are leaving Realista to die. Focusing on Morty in the middle. Going after the bases. Morty is not long for this world. They are capping base C. They are capping base B. Big hit into Magnitude. Magnitude is being eaten alive. Realista gets taken out. But it's cost him 2 bases and a lot of HP. And Magnitude has nowhere to go. He takes a big hit there. And another one. Almost gone now. Sneer has to be a little bit careful. And now we have Archeol. Oh, he's still alive, if barely. Archeol waiting, not wanting to get hit by the 60p. Istra losing tanks, lost the bases. He's in trouble. Sneer gets taken out. Archeol has to be careful. Ilbury has been set on fire. CVCU wants to kill him. Does not go for the killing hug. Does take one more. 925 points. Supreme Power is in trouble. Istra being knocked to the lower bracket here. There we go. DBU is through to the grand finals for tonight. And one step closer. Wow, what a game. And I'm not actually sure. I think that Istra thought that they would have a bigger advantage pushing into the side in the lower bracket like that. There you go. What a game, though. Well done by both teams. This has been absolutely, like, it's been a very fun night. Matches like this wake me up anytime. Let's see, do we know anything else? Ins is out. Wagme is out. EXQ is out. Solve is out. Have they lost? No, they're up next. Their match is about to start, which means that OGT is up through the grand finals as well. Let's see, how's this going? That is still going. That's got to be a tiebreak as well near there. But oh my god, though, matches like this, we still have time. I can go back and have a look at the last group. Plenty of time yet. That is still going as well. So it's Bat versus Waifu, and in the grand finals, S63 is just waiting now. That is, honestly, this is, oh, what a night. I keep sort of like cutting in on myself because I decide to say something, then I say, yeah, no, I should say it differently. So then I sort of cut myself off there. But honestly, games like this, though, what's not to love? Just below 3 minutes now, which means that we can pretty much go into the room. And let's have a look. Istra versus Jokes. Pretty sure Misha will not be taking a Batchat Burask. For Port Bay now. Istra is completely ready. With 2 I7s, 3 E5s, a 60 DP, and a Sheridan. Really curious what we're going to see now. Because Port Bay did not do kindly. Basically, was not kind to Istra last time we saw it. And there we go, Joke's getting ready with 2 I7s, a 113, an IS4, a concept on B, an LT, and potentially another IS7 if Venu readies up in that. Misha went offline a moment, but it's still just another 2 minutes left to get ready. So let's see. Venu does still have to ready up though. Honestly though, this, I have to admit, this was the teams that I expected in the grand finals together today. DBU is like a dark horse for me, but in the good way, because they've been really impressive and amazing. But there we go. Joke's ready with 3 IS4s, 2 IS7s, a concept 1B, and an LT. With just over a minute left to go before we go into the match. Really curious to see how this matchup will go. Because, like, I mean, I've said this before. I've seen them like previous seasons, and they've both been absolutely epic. I kind of expected both these teams to more or less easily make it into the top 16, and now we know that for sure one of them will not be in the top 16. But we might even be looking at it. Both of them might not be in the top 16. A bit of tank changes happening on Jokes' side. Ten seconds left. And here we go. I do like this camo for the concept on B. It's actually kind of funny because it kind of hides one of the weak spots that the tank has. So we have Jokes heading towards the corner. And on the other side we see Flexible doing the same thing as before. Because not gonna lie, that worked really well for his position. He actually skidded a little bit there. Already looking back to take that hit. Big hit into Misha there. And now we have on the other side. Oh, they're losing a lot of HP. Only Bulbul now taking a hit back. Base A is being kept. The IS-7s are in a bit of a precarious position there. Steadily being farmed by the Sheridan. And they can't really do anything about that. Because now we have Sin pre-aiming. And there you go, he does take a hit for it. And now he might get chased. I thought that he might get chased by Arca there, but he doesn't. A has been capped. I think they were expecting him to come up behind or to go to base B. Neither of which has happened. Lots of shots being fired, not a lot of damage being done. Sin taking a bit of a hit there though. And we have cheeky little Marcinek on the hill there, farming the IS-7s as they go to the corner. But this is going to be tricky because now they're actually in the corner. I always find it's easier to get shots from the corner than into the corner. And they have to be careful not to push too far. So it's a bit of a stalemate right now. Base A is being protected. Venu going after Bulbul here. Misha and Misu in trouble. Misha gets taken out. And that basically means that they kind of have to push here. We have the LT chasing after the Sheridan. Flexible in trouble as well. Ilbury going after Misu. Base C is being kept but holding half-hearted. Misu is gone. There goes Dirty Devotion. Asuka not long for this world either. Magnitude reloading, there you go. Sin is in trouble. Flexible is still alive. But they're losing too much time, too much HP. Trying to go after the one-shots here. Losing a lot of tanks here. Venu is still alive. Arca needs to take out Flexible here. He does finally do that, but look at the amount of HP it's cost his team as a whole. Marcinek is not going to arrive there alive. Oh, that was a very important shot. Akasun is going after Marcinek. Is going to take him out. Magnitude is gone as well. 3 versus 2. And we have Arca going after Morty. They don't really have a choice here. They need to take him out. Arca almost reloaded. Arca might have gone AFK for a moment there. Not sure what happened. Bulbul. This is too tricky though. Venu is almost gone. There goes Arca. Bulbul is out, but Venu has too little HP. I'm not sure what Arca was doing there. He could have circled him to death. He could have done anything, but he just... It cost him too much time to take out Flexible, chasing around, and basically Istra was allowed to push forward more and allow crossfire into the tanks that were all on the other side on the ramp near the corner. And very well played by Istra, don't get me wrong. But I do think that this was lost by Jokes. One and a half minute left to go before we go into the second game of this best of 5. And we see Istra now getting ready with 2 60 DPs, an E5, an IS-4, a 215B, and 2 LTs. Let's see, players are being exchanged. And on Jokes' side, we see the Concept 1B is being taken out in force again, potentially. We see 2 IS-4s, an IS-7, an LT, another IS-7. Let's see what Venu and Marcinek take. Arca, unreadied. They've got 23 seconds left to go before they all need to get ready, or the game will stop without them. But there we go. 2 IS-4s, a Concept 1B. Dear God, that's too fast, too late, guys. 2 E5s, 4 IS-4s, and a Concept 1B. And here we go. I always had that little bit of fear that I forgot to ready up or something. And let's see. They are all going towards the base C side again. Whereas in this case, Istra is actually heading into the other direction, with Flexible and Morty going more for the spotty spot. Morty going for a cheeky base B cap. Well done. If they get away with that though. Martinek getting shot at before Flexible decides to not be there anymore. And immediately we see Istra taking base A as well, abandoning base C to Jokes. And this was not the kind of game that Jokes was expecting. I think they expected another brawl here. Venu going up the ramp on the other side. Asuka waiting. And now, again, it will be up to Jokes to make a move here. To somehow get the point advantage back. Because with the bases in Istra's advantage as well, it's going to be very tricky for Jokes to get the point advantage somehow. Because they will need to either push base A or need to push base B. I think Marcinek wanted to shoot down the tree. He does do that. No shots into the ground there though. Venu driving away from there. And we have Jokes flanking around towards base B and A and not really going anywhere just yet. Misu. Thing is, the more stuff they drive through, the more it will give away where they are. And they will be watching those walls go down. And they will know that there's people there. Arca has been spotted. Immediately takes the hit. They know that Bilbo is there. They don't know that Ilbury is there as well. Base B is being taken. Ilbury losing quite a bit of HP. Base B is being stolen as well. And they do actually seem to be getting away with that. Marcinek has to be careful now though. Jokes needs to push through. But they seem a bit lost. They're focusing on Akasun. He does get another shot in Asuka. It's not long for this world though. Oh, that shot not going in. Means that they get the gun advantage, however slight that might be. He does still get another shot in. Asuka is not going to be surviving this one though. Marcinek has been taken out as well. They have 2 bases, but we are at 875 points. They take out Ilbury. Mitsu is making sure that Venu survives a little bit longer, but Sin is not looking too healthy either. And that's not going to be going well either. Base B has been stolen back. They need to drive into the bases. Sin has been taken out. Magnitude has not been focus fired here. 995. It is Istra's game. And again, it is that hesitancy. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. In this case, you don't know exactly where they are. You don't know exactly what they're going to do. But it's just sort of like there seems to be a little bit of lack of communication somewhere. Like they push in, but they don't really agree on a target, and then other tanks get shot, and the kills rank up the points. And now Istra is up for match point. If they win the next game, then they are through to the grand finals versus DBU. And that means that Jokes would be out of winter season as a whole. And Jokes will have to win 3 in a row to keep that from happening. We are getting ready for Dynasty Sprawl again. Like all these maps, we've been seeing the maps a lot. But yeah. Dynasty Sprawl. Istra taking 2 IS-7s, 2 IS-4s, 2 60Bs and a 215B. And we see Jokes now taking 4 IS-4s, an IS-7, an E5 and a 113. Half a minute left before we see what happens in this game, because it is potential match point for Istra here. And let's see. Anything can still happen. And that's always something to hold on to, but at the same time, Jokes just seems to not find their footing tonight. And that's a shame, because we've seen them be so epic previously. Jokes heading towards the base C side. Istra heading towards B and A more. Marcinek not going in for the captures yet. Flexible, however, they're going straight for A. Arca has been spotted. First blood has been taken. A and C both being taken, but Istra will have a point advantage because they're capping with 2. So it will be slight, but it will be there. They're not attempting to decap C though. Taking positions to hold. With the 113s in spawn, lying in wait as Istra fans out their tanks to hold basically everything. Shots being fired. Magnitude taking a little bit of a hit again. Arca. Marcinek wants help. There's no one there though. And Marcinek is just holding. As is Magnitude on the other side there. Looking at each other. Not seeing each other quite literally. Magnitude has been spotted now. But they don't know exactly where from. He does shoot the bush though. So I think he's expecting someone to be there, but it did no damage. Istra has the point advantage though, so again it will be up to Jokes to make a move. And the 113s are waiting a little bit impatiently in the spawn. And look at the way that the tanks are stacked. Basically everyone is in a position to immediately respond one way or the other, supporting each other. It will be a big brawl if it comes to that. And at the same time, if they try to get base speed, that will also be very tricky. The 113s are still waiting, lying in wait. And at this point, nothing is really happening. Some shots are being fired. I really need to sneeze, but it's not coming. Ooh, Ilbury taking a little bit of damage there. Nice shot though. He managed to hit that. Because that's like probably a little bit of sort of cupola that you're spotting there. Shots are being fired back. But we're now at 730 points. And look at this. This is where they're expected to push. Look at the way that they're stacked. They're expecting someone to peek out from there. And the 113s are still waiting. And I think that that's why they're expecting their push. Because the 113s have not been spotted at all. 800 points. The 113s are still not moving. No one is making a move. This is making me nervous, honestly. Because the points are too close together. Look. Ooh, ooh. They are going. Sin. The 3 are going in. Base B is being kept. But if those 2 die, and all bets are off. Sin needs to survive. They all need to survive. Supreme Power might be the weakest link here. Jokes is sensing it. Devotion. Oh, that shot not penning. Flexible is almost gone. Mixu is the first one gone. They need that kill shot. Oh my god, but the chime is already gone. Istra has it. Oh my god. What a game. And so close. Again, waiting just a little bit too long. That tiny bit too long to push in. So close though. And Jokes is out of the tournament as a whole. Jokes will not be qualifying for the top 16. They were top 8. They've done absolutely phenomenal before. Wow. And now we have Istra versus DBU, but oh my god, Jokes is actually out. Not for lack of trying though. Let's have a look while we wait before we can go into the room, if we know anything yet about the other sides. That is still going as well. DBU versus Istra again. Hapkey versus OGT. Oh, that's gonna be epic as well. That's started not long ago. S63 versus Bat. It's also only started 10 minutes ago. And Pog is still waiting for an opponent because this has not started that long ago, to be honest. Wow. Joke's actually out. Did not expect that. But to be fair, I knew one of them, either Istra or Jokes, was going to get knocked out. But I didn't really expect that to happen before the grand finals tonight. So now we're gonna get Istra versus DBU again. And let's see who's going to take it home. Could be either team. We saw that before. We had a tiebreak and everything. And we are getting ready for Alpenstadt. And Istra is ready with a mouse, 2 E5s, a 60p, an IS7, a 215B, and a Sheridan. And DBU is still getting ready, but there's still plenty of time left for that. And the thing is, like, tomorrow the round robins already begin, I think. Or is tomorrow still a free day? I would have to have a quick look, and we still have time for that. So let's do that, because this is basically when it's all starting. And like, there's been so many postponements. Yeah, it's starting tomorrow. It was like, if I remembered it right, I had to stream like 8 days in a row. Oh well. But that's going to be fun as well, because we have a top 16 rather than a top 8. So there's going to be, I think, 2 groups of round robins, so to speak. Unless everyone meets everyone. Which, strictly speaking, is possible, but maybe there's too much time, too much possibility of a tie. We'll have to look at all the rules there. But yeah, now DBU is also ready with a 113, a 60, an LT, 3 60Ps, and 2 IS4s. And oh my god, though. Like, with the way the DBU is played tonight, I'm not surprised to see them here, but I am surprised that Jokes is out. That's basically the thing. Like, the more established names, I always kind of, like, expect to see them ranked in the top 16. But now, either DBU or Istra is going to qualify for the top 16, and the other one will be out as well. It's just so weird, though. "20 seconds left to go. And then we'll see what happens in the final best of 5 for tonight. The final best of 5 for all the qualifiers, to be honest. Ooh, please do. God, thank you. Ready up in time, I was gonna say. It's always nerve-wracking when they do that. You always have a chance to suddenly be 7 versus 6 or 6 versus 7, and it's just like, don't take that risk. So let's see how this is going to go. The battle for one of the final spots in the top 16 has commenced, with DBU heading towards town. I mean, Flexible doing the same thing. I'm going up for a spot to see who's there. Does get spotted, does get shot at. No HP has been lost. But we have a lot of tanks. Ilbury taking the first hits. Sneer taking the next one's. Base C has been kept, A is being kept, and these 3 have to be careful to not get flanked and get shot from the other side. Green has been spotted. Ooh, Sheridan does not bend that shot. And DBU is putting back. Wisely not leaving their tanks there to get crossfired. Shots are happening. And now we have Green and Realista in potential trouble. CVCU is digging himself in, but does get spotted. They know that there's gonna be people there. He is trying. This is, oh my god, look at this. I have a feeling we're gonna see some hyper aggression here. He does land a big shot into Ilbury there, but Sneer is also taking hits. Devotion taking hits there. CVCU is in trouble. There is crossfire happening though. Base B is being taken. And now we have DBU moving in. Going for Devotion here. Or maybe not. They're going for Ilbury. Lowest HP. Devotion gets taken out. Ilbury gets taken out. Sneer is also gone. CVCU not looking too healthy. Realista has been taken out. Magnitude pulling back. CVCU got ammo right there. Oh my god. He did not have a lot of HP left though, to be fair. There goes. There you go. Magnitude. It is full V3. But one of them is a mouse and he is pushing. Green losing a lot of HP pushing up. Akasun. Oof. Without reaction, almost gone. Has to be careful. Green. Going in for that kill shot that he really needs to get. But he's actually tracked Green. Without reaction. Takes that kill. But it is still 3v3 and two of them are very unhealthy. Flexible. Flanking around. Akasun. Going to take that kill. Does take it. 990 points. 1k points for Istra. And they get the first game. And this was... I think DBU was aggressive, but not aggressive enough. They didn't really push together. It does the same for me though, Dwarf. Streaming 8 days in a row is very tiring. It was a lot more spread out, to be honest. But with all the technical issues on the EU server, all the tournament days have sort of like been condensed. Because otherwise it wouldn't fit with the timeline. One and a half minute left before we go into the second game of this best of 5. The second game on Alpenstadt. And let's see. Istra now getting ready with a mouse, 260Bs, an IS-7, an E5, a 215B, and probably flexible in the Sheridan again. And they're going to go up against a 113, potentially 4 IS-4s, an LT, and a 60DB. That is, oh, maybe no, might be a mouse. Or a VK72, there you go. Flexible does need to ready up, but he still has 44 seconds left to do that. And there's so much riding on this though. Getting that first game in is going to be a big sign of relief, I've no doubt. Because that gives you that little bit more wiggle room. And there we go, everyone is readied up. And let's see. 17 seconds left. Flexible, unready again, going for an LT after all. Because I do think that spotting mechanic makes all the difference as well here. It definitely helps. And here we go. Let's have a look. We see Archeol heading towards the base A side, Flexible on the other side doing the same thing. Both of them going for a spotty spot. And Flexible is spotted, does get shot at. Before Archeol moves away from there, leaves them to take base A. Flexible decides to not want to be there. Base B is being taken, base C is being taken. I would be very surprised if they get away with taking base B like that though, but they do. Shots have been fired. They take a bit of damage for it though. VK72. Not risking it. Green has been spotted. Angling towards Magnitude. Reaction taking a bit of a hit. So does Magnitude there. Realista in trouble, potentially. Oof. Nice shot into Archeol there. We have Light Tank versus Light Tank at the back. And Archeol has a distinct disadvantage in HP. Magnitude losing more HP. Ilbury taking hits. It is going up and down quite evenly, to be fair. But the mouse is steadily being whittled down. We have Flexible shooting at the rear. Basically eating away green, which is the armor that they need and want. And he does not get that shot in. The mouse is first to go, but followed immediately by the VK. They need to focus fire. Basically, Flexible's getting way too many shots in there. Realista not looking too healthy either. Neither is without reaction. They are face hugging. There's too many one-shots here. This is very likely to be Istra's game again. Ilbury gets taken out. Without reaction is still alive, but just don't ask how. Realista is going to get taken out. Akasun still alive, if barely. Does get taken out. Reaction and Archeol both gone. 3v4. 2v4. Magnitude might still die, but look at, they're just surrounded by tanks. In this case, I think it's Flexible that is the man of the match here, getting all those shots into the rear, taking out that armor from behind. Sneer is not going to get another shot in, and the game is for Istra. Istra a lot stronger this matchup than they were the previous one versus DBU, that is. And now DBU seems to be a bit lost. But overall the game was fairly close. Just basically Flexible here. Just shooting them in the back like that. Making all the difference. And now we're going to go to Yukon. A map that we haven't actually seen yet today. And we have Istra getting ready with a VK90, a VK72, a 60p, an IS7, a 215B, a LT, and an E5. And with 1 minute to spare, DBU is getting ready with a 113, an LT, a 60p, 2 IS4s. We see some tank changes happening on the other side. But we see a mouse, 2 60ps, a 113, 2 IS4s, and an LT for DBU. And an E5, 60p, 215B, VK90, VK72, LT, and IS7 for Istra. And I have to point out again, Istra is up for match point. If they win in any of the next games, then they are through to the top 16 and DBU is out. Whereas DBU would have to win 3 in a row for that to happen. So that's going to be a tough pickle for them. So let's see. Countdown clock has begun. Potential match point for Istra. And let's see what happens. Dun 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 dun. Can DBU get back on their feet and turn the tide? That is the question. Reaction pulling back a little bit. Archeol going for base C. Whereas the heavy's heading towards base A. Istra heading towards the base D side. But not actually capping any base yet. Reaction might be in trouble there. B and D now being taken. And we have Sneer now going for A. But this does mean that Istra will have a bit of a point advantage, even if it will be very, very slight. No, it's actually, well, it's pretty much even Stevens here. And now we have Flexible trying to spot the spawn there. Reaction waiting. Archeol not yet being spotted. Flexible going for a close look. Akasun has been hit. Reaction seems to be alone. Archeol has not yet been spotted. Darksetter has been though. Morty has not been spotted either. And that could be tricky because now there's two tanks there. He lands the first one, but he takes 2 hits in turn. Reaction in trouble. And we have Sneer moving in. It is a bit of a track. Flexible losing HP. Darksetter is mainly being left behind. This is tricky though, because they're going to lose a tank for a tank at the best opportunity. They're losing their mouse. Morty, not long for this world, does get another hit in, because that hit didn't actually kill him off. And now we have Green. Morty and Reaction both get taken out. C is being taken. And we have the VKs there that can pack a wallop and have so much armor. They need to get the kill shots in. And they do not. Ilbury is out. Sneer. They're going after the VKs. Both teams have lost 2 tanks, but look at the bases. Istra has taken all 4 of the bases. They will have to move very fast in order to turn this around. And Realista is not long for this world. Neither is Green. He gets taken out as well. Realista not long for this world. Sneer is trying to take out Quickie, whereas CVCU is shooting an entirely different tank. And partly I get it. But there goes Sneer. This is Istra's game. And it's more lost by DBU than won by Istra. Because the focus fire was just not there. CVCU getting taken out here. If he dies, and he does, they have the 1k points. And Archeol does still get a hit in, does get to survive. But Istra is through to the top 16 and DBU is out. Very well played here by both teams. It's been an absolute pleasure. Also, jokes watching those 3. We haven't seen Rugby play, so I can't speak for them. But watching Jokes and DBU and Istra play today, it's been phenomenal. It's been so nice. Wow, these games though. And compared to the rest of the evening, this was a very, very quick grand finals, not gonna lie. So Istra is through to the top 16. And let's see. Pog versus Babansel has only just started. We know the end result of that one. Hapki has also qualified. They're also through to the top 16. So we have Hapki, we have Istra. We have Bat, that is also through. S63 is out. So the only ones that we are waiting for are Pog versus Pavanzel. And they've only just started, so I'm actually not going to wait for that, because that can take like half an hour maybe, if they play all the games, before we actually see what happens there. But we have Hapki, and we have Bat, and we have Istra. They are through to the top 16. And with that, they will join Pink and Zenith and Serenity and Aqua and Appa and Raid and Quick and Ikra and RJ and SPNX and TQT and Unlucky for the top 16. And that will actually start tomorrow already. So that's gonna be it for me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Istra and Jokes and DBU, for the fantastic gameplay that we've seen tonight. It's been phenomenal. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to my lovely mods for watching the chat. And yeah, that's it for me for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Wish you all a very good evening. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow to stream the first round of the round robins. So I'll see you all then. Good night.